Okay, moving on to question 4. 4a, we want to find the lowest common denominator here. You know, the lowest common multiples, because both 3 and 5 are prime numbers already. So when they are prime, you just multiply them. So the lowest common multiple is just 3 times 5. So this works whenever both are in prime. When all numbers are prime, we multiply to find the lowest common multiple. So 3 times 5 would just be 15. B, 4 and 6. So this one is slightly different because they are not both in prime. So what we are going to do is we are going to divide them vertically. I can divide both of them by 2. 4 divided by 2 is 2. 6 divided by 2 is 3. And now they are all prime. So this time we still multiply, but we also multiply the number on the left-hand side. So the lowest common multiple is 2 times 2 times 3, and we get 12. C, 6 and 9. So 6 and 9 can both be divisible by 3. Now that they are all prime at the bottom, I can start to multiply them. So the lowest common multiple is 3 times 2 times 3. 3 times 2 is 6. 6 times 3 is 18. D, 12 and 36. So again, because they are not both prime numbers, I would divide them. I can divide both of them by 2. 2 times 6 is 12. 36 divided by 2 is 18. I can divide them by 2 again. I get 3 and 9. And now I can divide both of them by 3. Now, 1 is not a prime, but I can't really divide anymore, and 3 is a prime, so I will stop. So the lowest common multiple would be 2 times 2 times 3 times 3. I don't need to times the 1. Anything times 1 is still itself. So 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 3 is 12. 12 times 3 is 36. So 36 would be the lowest common multiple. For E, 9 and 25. Well, they are not both prime, but I can't really divide them by anything, right? I can't divide both of the number by the same number. So when you cannot divide both numbers by the same divisor, we just multiply to find the LCM. So it would just be 9 times 25, which is 225. For F, we have 12 and 21. I can divide both of them by 3. I can't divide both of them by the same number anymore. So the lowest common multiple will just be 3 times 4 times 7. 3 times 4 is 12. 12 times 7 is 84. For G, 21, 28, and 49. So we can divide all of them by 7. And that's it. So the lowest common multiple is 7 times 3 times 4 times 7. So I stop because I can't divide at least 2 of the number by the same number. That's why I stopped dividing. And then I will just multiply them. So 7 times 3 times 4 times 7, we get 588. For H, we have 8, 15, and 20. We can divide 8 and 20 by 2. We can divide 2 and 10 by 2. I mean 4 and 10 by 2. So 4 divided by 2 is 2. 10 divided by 2 is 5. So when it's not divisible, we just move it down. You see the 15, I just move it down. And then now I can divide 15 and 5 by 5. And that's it. I cannot divide at least 2 of the number by the same number anymore. And now I will multiply them. So I multiply the left hand side and the bottom. And I normally don't write out ones, like this one. I wouldn't write out the 1 because anything times 1 is still itself. So 2 times 2 times 5 times 2 times 3, we get 120. For I, 25, 30, and 45. We can divide all of them by 5. And then divide the 6 and 9 by 3. So we have 5 times 3 times 5 times 2 times 3. And we get 450. For J, 12, 20, and 35. We can divide them by 2. So 6 divided by 2, 12 divided by 2 is 6, 20 divided by 2 is 10, 35 not divisible, just move it down. I can divide the 6 and 10 by 2 again. And 5 and 35 by 5. And now I just multiply them. 2 times 2 times 5 times 3 times 7. 2 times 3 times 5 times 3 times 7. We get 420. And that's it for question 4. I will see you in question 5.